Hello Daily Drafters and welcome back to the channel for today's Arena Gauntlet League match. Match 4 in week 1 of this Foundations Gauntlet League. For those of you that don't know what you're watching, go ahead and check the description for a week 0 video, which kind of gives an intro to what this league is, how it functions, what the sealed deck builds look like, all sorts of things like that. You can also check the last 3 days on the channel where you can see matches 1, 2, and 3. And check how we did in those and how the league is progressing as we go. The deck you see on your screen now is the deck we are running today in match number 4, which coincidentally is the same deck we ran in match number 3 because we did get the victory in match 3, so we didn't change anything here. This is what we got: red-black sack. We've got, 2 involuntary employments, 2 hungry ghouls, an eaten alive, the 9 lives familiar, blood witches. Relatively consistent deck here. Did enjoy playing it last video, and hoping to enjoy playing it this one as well. Now, as a quick reminder, this is where we currently stand going into today's match, with a record of 1 and 2, sitting in 92nd place out of 121 members in the league. So we are still pretty low and got some more room to make up here. But, you know, there's plenty of room to go. A win will vault us up a lot. These first week standings, you know, a win moves you up like 30-40 spots because everyone's so close and so little matches have been played. But this is where we are starting today, looking for a win. And you might have seen him at the top of the leaderboard that I displayed for today in 89th place. Today's match is against OompaLoompa, who has a record of 1-0, who's playing a Mardu deck. So we are going to attempt to steal a win and potentially jump over OompaLoompa in the standings in doing this. OompaLoompa is unfortunately not able to join voice today, so it'll just be me and you guiding ourselves through this match. But without further ado, hope you enjoy it. All right, we start on the draw on this one here, and hand seems fine. Got both Diregraph Ghouls and a Sear Slicer Goblin if OompaLoompa doesn't present a 2-drop. And even if they do, we could trade it off, play the Goblin, make a 1/1. Well, okay, that does let us attack here. And we'll go ahead and play the Goblin, make the 1/1, and then next turn, we'll see what's up. So, again, looking at our opponent's pool of cards here, there are 3 Fiendish Pandas in their pool, so that is certainly going to be a problem, as well as a Liliana Dreadhorde General. So we're going to have to watch out for that, very clearly. And with 3 Fiendish Pandas, wouldn't be shocked if one comes down next turn, and the Sanguine Siphoner is going to be an issue. I think I'm probably just going to play Blood Witch and Ghoul next turn. Chose not to keep any of those cards. Eaten Alive, not a horrible top deck. So let's do this just in case they choose to block our Diregraph Ghoul here. We'll get the trigger here and just play another one. This deck does much better at being consistent with its mana base and going relatively wide. The Eaten Alive is pretty good so far in this hand. If they do present a Fiendish Panda that turns into a 4/3, we can exile it. Hungry Ghoul. Okay. Alright, as far as single white spells, they could have a Fleeting Flight. +1/+1 counter on a creature, gains flying, prevent combat damage. And that's the only card I think they could have, except for the Hungry Ghoul here. So I could Eaten Alive the Hungry Ghoul, and then attack with both of my Diregraph Ghouls again. That does get wrecked by Fleeting Flight, but I continue to make more 1/1s, but I could just, like, wait, do that next turn. I also could trade this Diregraph Ghoul for any of this stuff. Like, if they block with Hungry Ghoul and then sacrifice one of these, that seems also totally fine. So we'll just continue pumping out 1/1s with this Sear Slicer Goblin here. And let's see if they do choose to sacrifice the Sanguine Siphoner. Again, I'm basically Yeah, I'm basically just trading this Diagraph Ghoul for that Sanguine Siphoner, and I think that's a fine trade to be making. So we'll do this, and then end the turn, make a 1/1. One thing our pool is missing is the 3-mana instant +2/+0 or make 2 goblins. I don't think we had that in here. It's been a little while since I've double-checked this deck list. It's been a few days since I last played, but okay, so now, unfortunately, the Diagraph Ghoul 9 Lives Familiar combo is a little annoying. So I think we're just going to go ahead and get rid of this thing here to continue to push through the damage. So go to combat, go to attackers, and I don't really want to be trading this off just yet. I guess at this point I wouldn't mind trading off one of these because I'm getting another one every single turn, so I want to start pushing more damage here. So I'm sure they're going to eat one and then trade for another. That does get 2 more pings from the Vengeful Blood Witch, and we make another 1/1. And now we need a little help off the top of our deck. They are 1 mana away from Liliana here now. Tragic Banshee killing the Goblin or killing the Blood Witch. It kind of depends, yeah. So the Blood Witch presented more damage, it seems. Fanatical Firebrand. Doesn't really do it. I mean, the Blood Witch plus a 1/1 attacking every turn and the Goblin on the battlefield is a pretty nice combo. It pings them for 1 every single turn. We have 2 more Blood Witches in the deck. I mean, I guess I can attack with the Diagraph Ghoul now. I should have done the Firebrand post-combat in case they blocked with the Banshee here. But this also makes sense. So we'll go ahead, remove 1 more life, and to make another 1/1 here. I don't think they would have blocked with the Banshee. My guess is they still blocked with the Familiar, but you never know. Okay, go to my turn. And now we're kind of stonewalled. We don't really have anything else we can do in the moment. So, yeah, no attacks. And really hope that Liliana doesn't show up. Okay, tap land. Which means there's no Fiendish Panda in hand. Otherwise, they would have gone Fiendish Panda and then gained a life, so... What are we hoping to draw? I think at this point, Krenko would be busted because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 goblins on the battlefield. Plus we can give him haste. Never mind. My guess is they saw Krenko in our pool of cards and was like, I don't think I can afford to have that be the top deck, so. But a mountain won't do us any good either. Quick draw Katana. That makes my life a little difficult. This thing has vigilance. I think I'm gonna wait at least another turn to see if I can get a Vengeful Blood Witch to start pinging when I chump this thing, but... yeah, I mean... Spitfire, Lagak, ping them for 1, and... I just don't have anything else I can be doing here. I mean, at least this threatens to block that now. Well, not anymore. (6/4) first strike. So we got to start drawing some things real quick with this Katana. And I guess I'm going to give it 1 more turn here. Tied at 10, and their board situation's a lot better than mine. really doesn't do much for me. I mean, it's a creature, but... I think we are starting to get into chump block territory here now. This 9 Lives Familiar soaked up quite a bit of damage. So I'm just wondering... I mean, what are we hoping to draw at this point? And a 5/3. Let's see if they get priority before blocks here. I couldn't tell because of the vigilance. So I think I'm just going to start chumping now. This makes Krenko worse by getting rid of our goblins. But I'd rather have a 2/2 than a 1/1 currently. So, okay, no instant speed interaction right now. These are just not doing it. Yeah, no attacks. This first strike is just really annoying. This katana, like, doesn't... Okay, so here comes Liliana next turn, I believe. What else could they be searching for? Herald of Eternal Dawn is another card, which... is a flyer, 6/6 flyer. It says you can't lose the game and your opponents can't win the game. I think that might be the draw. We would need to draw... I don't even know what we would need to draw to get out of that. We've used Eaten Alive. Stab doesn't work for that. Okay, Tragic Banshee, killing the Spitfire Lagak, probably. And what can we find? That's really not going to do anything. Yeah, unfortunate Mana's Flood situation. Not that we have many more lands than they do, we haven't drawn anything that costs more than like 2 mana. Except for the Lagak here. Okay, so they must have searched for a Banshee. Sure. Pass to blockers. I mean, take 5, I guess? I mean, I think we're pretty toast at this point. Shivan Dragon. Well, that's a card, I guess. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I had forgotten that was in the deck. Does that get us out of this? I mean, what if I attack and then I chump and they just top deck a land here? That would win. Nothing has reach, so... If I attack with this, I go to 6, they go to 6. And then next turn I can chump here and chump there. That makes the Gutless Plunderer not lethal in the event that they draw... If they draw removal for Shivan Dragon, none of this matters. Because I'm going to get a 1-1 if I attack with the Siphoner here. But it does make it not lethal. And like I said, if they draw removal for this, then I have to double chump, which means I lose. Whereas if they draw removal, I could keep... I go to 6, so this wouldn't be lethal. I think... Like I said, if they draw removal, the game's over anyway, so we'll just end here. And if they draw land, then we do win. Is Shivan Draken good enough in 2024 Limited here? Let's see. I think that's fine. Sure. Resolves. Go to attackers. And then go to 1. So that resolves. Pass to blockers. Do this. This doesn't have reach. Go to my turn. Combat. Attack. And then pump several times here. And Shivan Draken for the win. Wow. That's a card we could have drawn. So going into sideboarding here. Against a black-white potential life gain deck, I'm wondering if Pilfer is good considering they have Herald of Eternal Dawn and Liliana in their pool. And both of those are like effectively unbeatable cards here. None of these seem super great. Flying seemed okay. Do they have any stabs in their pool? No stabs. So I wonder if there's a way I can fit a Pilfer in. So if I get Pilfer, what could I take out? What doesn't seem great against them? I mean, these Siphoners didn't seem great. Random campus guide or something like that, maybe. The Siphoners are a decent way to trigger raid, even if they go to their own death. You get a ping trigger and then they die. Yeah, let's try to get rid of just like the campus guide. Bring in a Pilfer and see if I can find some of their bombs before they end up being too much of an issue by being resolved. Alright, 1 drop, 2 drop. No sack outlet for the employment yet, but maybe we'll get there. Black-white, no play. Strongbox Raider without a second mount. Don't like to see that. I think I'm just going to lead on Cavalry. It's got more power, and if we feel like we want to attack with the Siphoner next turn, I could just give it haste as opposed to the Cavalry. Like, if they play a 2-1 or something. I don't need another swamp. That's for sure. Okay. Mountain off the top wouldn't be horrible. Eaten alive off the top wouldn't be horrible. That means I can steal and sack something. We'll see. Stab wouldn't be horrible now. Perforating Artist. Okay. Alright, go ahead and get in here. Am I willing to trade Firebrand and Siphoner? No, probably not. I'll trade the Cavalry. Yeah, I didn't think they would. Then we just go ahead and play the Artist here. And end the turn. They likely just discard a card. Or lose 3 life, that's what I meant to say. They still had a high enough life total, but they don't know about the involuntary employment, and that could create issues going forward. There's the life gained. This becomes a 4-3. And my turn. Yeah, swamp is just really not it. If I steal the panda and attack with it, like, I've got really good attacks here. I can't sacrifice it, but I can also trigger it here. It'd go to 5 power. I mean, that's a lot of damage. So I'm just going to try to push some damage here. Go to combat, attackers, attack with all of this. Maybe they trade for the Perforating Artist, but if they do that, then they take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, go to 3. Firebrand puts them to 2. So they'll do that. So they get to keep their panda, but again, they go to 2 here, and then Firebrand plus Siphoner is lethal unless they present any sort of life gain here. Okay, that's life gain. And a 4-4. Okay. Okay, so we attack with the Siphoner, we put them to 2, we play Strongbox Raider, and we see if we can find something here. I mean, it's a chump attack, but they go to 2, and they effectively go to 1 for the moment. So I think that's what I'm going to do here. I guess their life gain. Bloodfell Cave saved them. I think I will use the treasure just in case I hit 2 lands here. Alright, that is lethal next turn. Again, assuming no life gain. And no board wipe. I guess even another Bloodfell Caves, the Firebrand plus the Gorehorn Raider would still do it. There isn't another Bloodfell Caves in the pool, though. There is... what do we got? Tranquil Cove, Rugged Highlands, Swiftwater Cliffs. See what you got here. Attack with both. Does that mean Liliana's coming down here, and then they're going to sacrifice both of these creatures? Okay, take 10. All right, we did get it. Okay. Yeah, this deck is a whole lot better than our first one. So we will take the win and move on. And now with that win, look how much we've jumped up. We are now in 55th place. What was that? A jump of, like I said, 30, 37, 38 places. 2 and 2, and there are many, many players currently at 2 and 2 at this point in the league. From Preacher all the way down to Roldy Carp. And the tiebreaker, you can't see, my face gets covering it. OMW, opponent match win percentage, is the tiebreaker. And ours is looking relatively okay right now, 57.42, which is putting us near the top of the 2 and 2 players. If we are able to get a win in our final match of this week's league, could vault ourselves up into the 20s or so, which is where you want to be, because after 6 weeks, you want to find yourself into the top 8. So we have moved to 55th, and that is where we sit for now. Here is one quick final look at what we played today and what we will begin our final match of week 1 playing this red-black sack deck. There's not much more to say about it. When you win a match in this league, you don't get anything to improve your deck, but when you lose, you get comeback packs and commons and all sorts of things to help you out to improve your deck for future matches. So this is what we finished with today and what we will begin with tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed this match. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you tomorrow for the final match of week 1 of the Gauntlet League.